Welcome, sleepyhead. I am Japanese. Here is an old Japanese tale that people around the world still don't know. Presented in soft ASMR audio. Accompanied by the gentle sound of rain, you will be transported back in time to Japan's feudal era and fall into a relaxing, deep sleep. Immerse yourself in the tranquil atmosphere. As the soothing tones create an ambient bedtime story for adults. The Tale of Princess Kaguya. A long time ago, in a quiet village in Japan, there lived an old bamboo cutter and his wife. They were kind and hard-working, but they had no children of their own. Each day, the old man went deep into the forest to cut bamboo. While his wife waited for him at home. One day, as the old man walked through the tall bamboo stalks, he saw something strange. A single stalk of bamboo was glowing softly, like golden moonlight. Curious, he stepped closer. He reached out his hand and gently cut the stalk open with his knife. Inside, to his great surprise, he found a tiny baby girl, no bigger than his thumb. Her skin was as bright as the moon. And her tiny clothes shimmered like the stars. She looked up at him with big, shining eyes and smiled. The old man's heart filled with joy. "This child must be a gift from the heavens," he whispered. Carefully, he picked her up in his hands and carried her home. The old man and his wife were overjoyed. They had always wished for a child, and now their wish had come true. They decided to raise the girl as their own daughter. They named her Kaguya, which means shining night. From that day on, something strange happened. Whenever the old man cut bamboo, he found gold hidden inside the stalks. The couple became very rich. And they built a beautiful home for their new daughter. But the strangest thing of all was how quickly Kaguya grew. In just a few months, she became a beautiful young woman. Her hair was long and black. Like the night sky, and her skin glowed like moonlight. Word spread through the village about the mysterious and beautiful girl. Who had appeared from the bamboo. Soon, people from far and wide came to see her. As Kaguya grew older, many noblemen came to ask for her hand in marriage. Among them were 5 princes, all powerful and wealthy. Each of them begged Kaguya to marry him, but she did not want to marry anyone. So, she gave them impossible challenges. "If you truly love me," she said, "bring me these treasures." She gave each prince a special task. One, the stone bowl of the Buddha, said to be in India. 2, a branch from a jewel tree in paradise. 3, a robe made of fire rat fur, which does not burn in fire. 4, a pearl from a dragon's neck, hidden in the deep sea. 5, a shell from a swallow's nest, found at the bottom of the sky. The 5 suitors left, determined to prove their love. But time passed, and one by one, they all failed. One prince tried to trick Kaguya. By bringing an ordinary bowl and saying it was the Buddha's. But she saw through his lie. Another prince brought a beautiful jeweled branch. But Kaguya discovered that he had made it himself instead of bringing it from paradise. The other suitors failed as well. Some were hurt during their dangerous quests, and some never returned at all. Kaguya was kind but firm. She would not marry anyone. News of Kaguya's beauty reached even the Emperor of Japan. One day, he himself came to visit her. He was a great ruler, and many believed no woman could refuse him. "Kaguya," he said, "become my wife?" "And you will live in the palace as my empress." But Kaguya only lowered her eyes. "I cannot," she said softly. "I do not belong to this world." The emperor was confused. "What do you mean?" Tears filled Kaguya's eyes. She could not tell him the truth. No matter how many times he asked, she refused his offer. The emperor respected her wishes, but he left with a heavy heart. That summer, Kaguya began to change. Every night, she stared at the moon with sadness in her eyes. She became distant, lost in thought, and sometimes she cried without reason. One evening, as she sat in the garden, her adoptive parents asked her what was wrong. She finally told them the truth. "I am not from this world," she said. "I came from the Moon Kingdom." The old couple gasped. "The moon people will come for me soon," she whispered. "On the night of the full moon, they will take me back." Her parents fell to their knees, begging her to stay. "We love you," they cried. "You are our daughter." Kaguya wept too. She loved them dearly, but she could not escape her fate. The night of the full moon arrived. The old bamboo cutter and his wife tried to protect Kaguya. They called the emperor for help. He sent his strongest warriors to guard her home. The soldiers stood ready with bows and arrows, prepared to fight. But when the time came, a golden light filled the sky. The moon people floated down from the heavens. Their presence was so powerful that the warriors could not move. Kaguya stepped forward. The moon people placed a magical robe on her shoulders. As soon as she wore it, she forgot everything at home. Her parents, and all the love she had known on Earth. She turned away from her parents and stepped onto a golden chariot. The old couple cried out to her, but she did not remember them anymore. Slowly, the chariot rose into the sky, carrying Kaguya back to the moon. Her parents watched until she disappeared into the night. Far away in his palace, the emperor heard what had happened. His heart was filled with sorrow. He wrote a letter to Kaguya, expressing his love and longing. Since he could not send it to the moon, he asked his men to take it to the highest mountain in Japan and burn it there. They climbed to the peak and burned the letter. People say that the smoke from that fire still rises today. That mountain is now called Mount Fuji, the Mountain of Immortality. And so, the shining princess returned to the moon. Leaving behind love, longing, and the memory of the light that once touched the earth. Even today, when people look up at the full moon, they remember her gentle glow. And that is the tale of Princess Kaguya, the shining girl from the moon. Perhaps, the next time you see the full moon, you will think of her and wonder. Does she still remember the earth? The end. Urashima Taro, A Gentle Tale by the Sea. Once upon a time, in a peaceful fishing village by the shimmering sea, there lived a kind-hearted young fisherman named Urashima Taro. Every morning, Taro would wake to the gentle whisper of waves. And the salty scent of the ocean breeze. With his simple fishing rod in hand, he would walk barefoot along the soft sand. The grains warmed beneath his feet. And cast his line into the calm, glistening water. Taro loved the sea. Its endless blue stretched far beyond the horizon. Like a vast blanket cradling the world. It was his home, his friend, and his peace. One sunny morning, as Taro strolled along the beach, humming a soft tune, he noticed a small crowd of children gathered near the water. Curious, he walked over and saw something that tugged at his gentle heart. A tiny turtle lay helpless on the sand. its shell scratched and its flippers weak, as the children poked and teased it. Taro's heart ached. "Please," he said softly, kneeling down. His voice was calm but full of care. "Let the turtle go. It has done nothing wrong." The children, surprised by Taro's kindness, stepped back. Taro gently picked up the little turtle. Feeling its fragile shell beneath his fingers, and whispered, "You're safe now." With careful hands, he placed the turtle back into the cool sea. Watching as it floated for a moment, then swam gracefully into the deep, disappearing beneath the gentle waves. Taro stood there, feeling the ocean breeze brush his face. A soft warmth blooming in his chest. Days passed, and the memory of the little turtle stayed in Taro's mind. Like a sweet dream. Then, one bright afternoon, as he sat by the shore, watching the golden sun dip low, something incredible happened. A large turtle emerged from the sea, its shell gleaming like polished jade. It spoke, its voice smooth and soft as the ocean wind. "Urashima Taro," it said, "I am the turtle you saved. As a gift for your kindness, I wish to take you to the Dragon Palace, deep beneath the sea." Taro's heart filled with wonder and a gentle flutter of excitement. He had always dreamed of the mysteries beneath the waves. "But how?" he asked, his voice tinged with awe. The turtle smiled, "Climb onto my back, and close your eyes. Trust the sea." Taro took a deep breath, feeling the salty air in his lungs. And gently climbed onto the turtle's back. He closed his eyes, letting the ocean's lullaby calm his mind. They dived beneath the waves. The water cool but comforting, like a soft embrace. Schools of colorful fish swam by, their scales shimmering like floating jewels. Taro opened his eyes and smiled, his heart light and free. They passed coral gardens, where seaweed danced slowly in the currents, and jellyfish floated gracefully, like glowing lanterns. Soon, the Grand Dragon Palace appeared, a castle of pure crystal. Its towers reaching up like frozen waves, glowing with soft blues and purples. At the palace gates stood Princess Urashima. Radiant and kind, her smile warm like the morning sun. "Welcome, Urashima Taro," she said gently. "You have shown great kindness. Please, rest here, in peace and joy." Days at the palace felt like a dream. Taro wandered through coral gardens, danced with playful fish, and listened to the soft songs of the sea. But most comforting is the peace he felt, a deep calm. Like floating on the surface of still water, with the sun gently warming his skin. Yet, after what felt like a few peaceful days, a soft ache filled his heart. He thought of his village. The gentle waves, and the soft sand where he once walked barefoot. "Princess Urashima," he said kindly. "Thank you for your generosity, but I miss my home." "May I return?" The princess smiled, though her eyes held a sadness. "Of course," she said. "But take this gift, a mysterious box called the Tamate Bako. Promise me one thing, never open it." Taro accepted the box, feeling its smooth, cool surface. He bowed in gratitude and climbed back onto the turtle's back. When Taro returned to his village, something felt different. The houses were older, worn by time. The trees taller. The familiar faces were gone. A gentle unease filled his heart. He asked a passerby, "Do you know a man named Urashima Taro?" The man paused. "That name, it is from a tale told long ago. Urashima Taro disappeared into the sea over 300 years ago. Taro's heart sank. His time at the Dragon Palace had passed like a fleeting dream. Yet in the real world, centuries had slipped away. A heavy loneliness settled around him. Without thinking, he opened the mysterious Tamatebako. A soft, white mist poured out, swirling gently like a morning fog. In an instant, Taro felt his body grow weak and fragile. His hair turned silver, his skin wrinkled like old paper. He had aged in moments, time catching up with him in a breath. But as he stood there, feeling the cool sea breeze once again, he smiled gently. Though everything he knew was gone. His heart was full of kindness, wonder, and peace. Taro gazed at the endless sea. Its waves calm and soft, stretching far into forever. And in that moment, he felt truly free. May you float on calm waves tonight. Like Taro beneath the sea, drifting deeper and deeper into peaceful dreams. End. Issun-boshi, the 1-inch boy. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village. Surrounded by gentle mountains and soft rivers. There lived an old couple who had everything they needed except for one thing. They longed for a child. Every evening, they sat together by the flickering light of their small hearth. Feeling the warmth, but also the quiet emptiness in their hearts. If only we had a child, even if he were as small as my thumb. The old woman would whisper, her eyes reflecting both hope and sadness. One bright spring morning, while soft petals floated down from cherry trees, the couple's wish was granted. A tiny boy was born, so small that he was barely an inch tall. But his heart was big and full of life. They named him Issun-boshi, which means 1-inch boy. The old couple loved him deeply. They made him tiny clothes from silk threads, and his father carved him a small, sewing needle to use as a sword. Though Issun-boshi was small, he had a big, brave heart and a gentle spirit. As Issun-boshi grew, he noticed the world around him felt so large. Raindrops were like rivers, leaves were like giant sails. And the family cat looked like a towering lion. But Issun-boshi didn't feel afraid. Instead, he felt wonder. Every day, he dreamed of adventure. Of seeing the world beyond the village, of doing something great. "Father, Mother," he said one morning, his voice soft. But full of determination, "I want to go to the capital and seek my fortune. I wanted to make you proud." The old couple's eyes filled with tears, both of worry and of love. "You are so small, my dear," his mother whispered. Gently cupping him in her hand. "But your heart is strong," his father added, his voice warm. They packed a small bag for him. Filled with soft rice and tiny tools, and said goodbye with gentle hugs. Issun-boshi traveled by river, sailing in a bowl for a boat. A chopstick served as his oar, and with each stroke, he moved gracefully through the water. The sun sparkled on the gentle waves, and the breeze whispered softly through the trees. His heart was filled with excitement and a little nervousness. The world felt vast, but he held on to his dream. As he sailed, Issun-boshi thought, "Even though I'm small, my heart can carry me anywhere." After many peaceful days, Issun-boshi arrived at the great capital city. Where towering buildings reached into the sky and the streets were filled with the soft sounds of merchants. Children laughing, and temple bells ringing. He made his way to a grand house where a kind samurai lived. Standing tall and proud as much as a 1-inch boy. Could Issun-boshi called out. "Please, sir, I seek to serve you." "I may be small, but I have a big heart." The samurai, charmed by Issun-boshi's bravery, smiled kindly. "Very well, little one. You may serve as a companion to my daughter, the princess. The princess was gentle and kind. She loved Issun-boshi's spirit and bravery. They spent peaceful days together, walking through beautiful gardens filled with blossoming flowers. Where butterflies danced in the air. Though Issun-boshi was tiny, he never felt small around her. She listened to his stories with a soft smile, and in return, she shared her dreams and hopes. Their friendship blossomed like the flowers around them, gentle and pure. But one quiet afternoon, as they walked along a peaceful stream, a dark shadow loomed. A giant oni, a fearsome ogre, appeared from behind the trees. Its deep growl echoing through the air. The princess gasped, her hands trembling. Issun-boshi, though small, stood tall in her palm. His tiny needle sword shimmered in the sunlight. "I will protect you," he whispered, feeling his heart race. But filled with courage. The oni reached for the princess, but Issun-boshi leapt forward. Striking the ogre's hand with his needle sword. The oni swatted at him, but Issun-boshi was too quick. Then, with one deep breath, the oni swallowed Issun-boshi whole. But even inside the ogre's belly, Issun-boshi didn't give up. He poked and prodded with his needle, causing the oni to groan in discomfort. "Ow! What is this pain?" the oni cried. Unable to take it, the oni spat Issun-boshi out and ran away. Leaving behind a small, shining object. The princess rushed to Issun-boshi, tears in her eyes. "You were so brave," she whispered, gently cradling him in her hands. They looked at the object the oni had left, a magical mallet. "This is the wish mallet," the princess said softly. "It can grant any wish." She held the mallet and, with a kind heart, made a wish. "I wish for Issun-boshi to grow. So the world will see the great person he truly is." A gentle light surrounded Issun-boshi, and slowly, he began to grow. From an inch tall to the size of a full-grown man. His heart, always big, now matched his body. Tears filled his eyes, not from sadness, but from deep, gentle happiness. "Thank you," he whispered to the princess. Issun-boshi and the princess grew even closer, their bond now stronger than ever. Eventually, they married and lived in peace. Surrounded by gardens filled with blooming flowers and streams that sang soft lullabies. But Issun-boshi never forgot where he came from. Or the kind old couple who had wished for him long ago. With the wish mallet, he returned home to visit. Bringing them gifts and stories of his adventures. The old couple's hearts were full. Their once empty house now filled with joy and laughter. And so, Issun-boshi lived a happy life, proof that no matter how small you are, a big heart and gentle kindness can bring you to wonderful places. Now, like Issun-boshi sailing calmly down the gentle river, may you drift into peaceful dreams, floating softly, safe and free. Good night. Hanasaka Jizen, the old man who made flowers bloom. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between gentle hills and soft, flowing rivers, there lived an old man and his wife. They were kind-hearted and simple folk, living in a small wooden house. Surrounded by trees that swayed with the breeze. The old man had a gentle smile, the kind that warmed your heart. His wife often hummed softly as she tended to the garden. Where tiny flowers bloomed under her care. But despite the peace of their life, there was something missing. They had no children. Yet, they were not lonely. They had a little white dog named Shiro. His soft fur was like fresh snow, and his round, gentle eyes sparkled with love. Shiro wasn't just a pet, he was family. Every morning, the old man and Shiro would walk together into the woods. The leaves rustled softly, and the sunlight streamed through the branches. Painting dappled patterns on the forest floor. The old man would sometimes pause, taking deep breaths, feeling the cool, fresh air fill his lungs. In these moments, he felt a simple happiness, one that warmed his heart. One quiet morning, as the dew still clung to the grass, and the air felt crisp and clean, Shiro began barking excitedly. His tail wagged as he scratched at the earth beneath an old tree. "What is it, Shiro?" the old man asked, his voice filled with curiosity. Shiro barked again, looking up at his master with eager eyes. Then back at the ground. Trusting his beloved dog, the old man gently picked up his wooden spade. And began digging the soft earth. With each scoop, he felt his heart beat faster, not from the effort, but from a growing sense of excitement. Soon, his spade struck something hard. Carefully, he brushed the dirt away, revealing a wooden box. He opened it slowly, and to his astonishment, it was filled with gold coins. Shining brightly under the morning sun. His eyes widened, but not with greed, with gratitude. "Oh, Shiro," he whispered, tears welling in his kind eyes. "You've given us a blessing." The old man took only what they needed, just enough to live comfortably. And shared the rest with his neighbors. His heart felt light, filled with the simple joy of giving. But not everyone in the village was kind-hearted. Their neighbor, a greedy old man with sharp eyes and a scowling face, had been watching from afar. His heart, filled with envy, burned with jealousy. The next day, he tricked Shiro into following him. Leading the little dog to the woods. "Find me treasure too," the greedy man demanded, his voice harsh and impatient. But Shiro, sensing the man's cold heart, hesitated. Still, he scratched at the earth, trusting, innocent. The greedy man dug furiously, his mind filled only with gold. But when he unearthed the spot, there were no treasures, only rocks and dirt. Enraged, the man's heart twisted with anger. In a cruel moment, he struck Shiro, and the little dog's soft. Barks faded into silence. When the kind old man and his wife learned what had happened, their hearts shattered like delicate glass. Their beloved Shiro, their family, was gone. The old man sat by the small mound where Shiro was buried. Tears streaming down his weathered face. He felt a deep, aching emptiness, a hollow space where love once lived. But even in his sorrow, he wanted to honor Shiro. He carved a small wooden mortar and pestle from a tree near the grave, whispering softly, "For you, Shiro." So you will never be forgotten. One day, as he ground some rice, in the wooden mortar, something magical happened. The rice flour began to shimmer. Transforming into pure white grains that sparkled like snow. The old man's eyes widened in awe, his heart filled with warmth. It was as if Shiro's spirit was there, gently reminding him that love, even when lost, leaves behind blessings. But the greedy neighbor, filled with envy, demanded the mortar. "Give it to me," he growled. The kind old man, always willing to share, handed it over. Hoping that even the coldest hearts could find kindness. But the greedy man, thinking only of wealth, used the mortar. Harshly, grinding rice with force. Instead of magic, only dust filled the air. Furious, he smashed the mortar into pieces and tossed them into the fire. The old man's heart ached again, but he didn't let bitterness take root. He gathered the ashes from the burned mortar, cradling them gently in his hands. As he walked through the quiet village, a gentle breeze carried the ashes into the air. They floated softly, like feathers in the wind, landing on bare winter trees. And then a miracle. Blossoms began to bloom on the branches, delicate pink petals. Unfurling like soft whispers of spring. The lifeless trees were now alive. Covered in beautiful flowers that swayed gently in the wind. The villagers gathered, their eyes wide with wonder. The old man's heart filled with peace, not because of the magic, but because he felt Shiro's spirit in every bloom, every petal. The local lord, seeing the trees burst into bloom, declared, "This is no ordinary man. He has brought beauty to the world from kindness and love." He rewarded the old man with gifts not of gold, but of respect and honor. The kind old man and his wife lived the rest of their days in quiet happiness. Their hearts, though touched by sorrow, were full. For they had known love, loss, and the magic that lives in kindness. The trees bloomed every year, soft petals floating through the village. A reminder that even in sadness, beauty can grow. And when the old man sat under the blossoms, he felt Shiro's presence gentle and warm, like a soft breeze on a spring day. And so, as the blossoms drift gently through the air, may your thoughts become light and soft like petals floating on a breeze. Let your heart feel calm and full of peace. Rest now, and drift into a gentle, peaceful sleep. Good night.